Hey folks, Will here again with Happily Ever Outdoors. So in this quick tips video, we're going to talk about the advantages as well as the limitations of boiling your drinking water. So keep watching. Alright folks, thanks for watching. So I'm just out today testing out a new hiking pack from Teton Sports. I figured I would bring you guys along. It's real beautiful out today. We just got hit with some more snowfall yesterday, and now the sun's came out today, so it's warming up a little bit. Everything's starting to melt off, but it's just real pretty out here in the woods. So I figured I would take this opportunity to talk to you guys about the advantages as well as the limitations of boiling drinking water. Now, if you saw our last quick tips video, we introduced you guys to personal water filters, which is one great way to get safe drinking water while you're out on the trail. And if you didn't see that video, I'll drop the link in the description below so you can check that out, because it's definitely going to be relevant to what we're talking about today. Now, I love personal water filters, but even those have their limitations, and this weather is a great example. One of the weaknesses of personal water filters is freezing weather. You see, the problem is if there's water inside of your filtration straw or your pump system, and that water has the opportunity to freeze, it's going to expand and break your system from the inside. Now, boiling water, of course, is a technique that's been around for a long time, and it's got some distinct advantages. For one, you don't need a lot of specialized equipment. As long as you've got some kind of waterproof vessel that can take the heat, you're going to be good to go. Of course, if you watch our channel, you know we've reviewed a lot of different stuff that can help you with this. There's a lot of gas stoves out there. There's a lot of alcohol stoves is one way to go, as well as wood burning stoves. And of course, when you're just out camping or potentially in a survival situation, you can just use a plain old-fashioned campfire, and as long as you can get that bottle or that pot onto that heat and get it to a boil, you're going to be set. Boiling water is really simple. The only thing you got to know, the CDC in the United States recommends that you bring water to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute in order to kill any bacteria or any other nasty stuff that might be in there. So boiling water is simple and effective, however, it does have some distinct limitations. Probably the biggest one being that it doesn't actually take anything out of your water. So the tiny little microscopic corpses of everything that you killed is still going to be floating around in there, which really isn't that big of a deal. It's not going to hurt you. So you've still got to remember that any algae or dirt or even more harmful stuff like heavy metals such as arsenic and lead, as well as things like chemicals, maybe runoff from agriculture, things like that, that's still going to be in your water. Boiling is not going to remove it. So that's definitely something to be concerned about, especially if you drink water out on the trail a lot, and it could really cause you problems over time. Along with that, if you're just getting started and you think you're going to go out on the trail and wherever you go you're just going to find water and you're going to boil it up and you're going to be all set, keep in mind it's going to be pretty nasty tasting, so you might get tired of it after a while. Along with that, even if the water is not going to hurt you because it's boiled, it could give you an upset stomach, give you cramps, even make you vomit, which is definitely not something any of us want. So just to wrap this up, when a lot of people are trying to decide or maybe argue about what method is best to go with on the trail, whether it's boiling, whether it's having a filtration system, you got to keep in mind there's two main scenarios here. One is going to be just your average everyday use, which is going to be 99.9% of the time. And the other situation is going to be, of course, an emergency or a survival situation. Now, in an emergency situation, if there's any way you can, I would certainly recommend boiling any drinking water. Now, if there's absolutely no way you can accomplish this, and if you have to choose between taking the risk of drinking bad water and maybe getting sick in a few days or in a week and dying of dehydration, go ahead and go for the short-term fix. But the thing is, in a situation like that, you don't know how long you're going to be out there. So better to be safe than sorry if there's any way you can. And of course, you would have to weigh the decision of heavy metals such as lead or arsenic or chemical runoff that could be in the water. You just have to exercise your best judgment and take a calculated risk. Again, it would be better to be exposed to those things for a short period of time if it kept you from dying of dehydration. If we're talking about everyday life, routine use, you definitely don't want to risk being exposed to things like arsenic and lead. Those build up in your system over time, can cause serious issues with your nervous system, all kinds of really bad stuff. So make sure you do your research, understand the area where you're going to be hiking or backpacking, and make a smart decision. Now, if you're in an area where you have fresh, clean running water like a stream or a river that you can pull water from, you are confident that there's nothing like that to worry about in the water, and you just need to kill the bacteria and stuff, go ahead and go with boiling. So I hope this video maybe provided a little clarity, simplified things for you guys a little bit. I know there's a lot of talk out there. People really complicate the issue, but it's not that complicated. Simply put, it's about understanding the risks and making smart decisions. Of course, as always, if you guys have any questions or anything specific you would like to share, feel free to comment below. Until next time, stay happy, stay outdoors.